Well, hello, my algebra students. I thought I'd wait to the night before the test since you should be working on this anyways and kind of go over some problems. Don't forget that you can still come before school and ask questions tomorrow if you want to. By 7:30, no more questions though, but I try to get there early on final exams. And then I should have your final exams done and in the computer by sometime Saturday. Now, I'm gonna might have to take a couple videos to make this, but we'll see how it goes. Now, I don't plan to do every problem. Some of these I might just sort of talk through. Now, we start off with give an example of a real number's any number you've ever seen. So as long as it's a number, it's a real number. So don't put down like x. X isn't a number. But if you said 2/7, that's a real number. 5, that's a real number. Then an integer is any positive or negative whole number with 0. So 7 is an integer. 4 is an integer. Irrational. Irrational is any number that can be written as a fraction. Oh, wait, I said that wrong. Rational is any number that can be written as a fraction. Irrational is any number that cannot be a fraction. So really, the only irrational number you know right now is pi. Now, you're going to learn second semester that like square root of 2, square root of 3 are also irrational because they cannot be simplified to a number that stops. The decimal stops. Now, rational is anything that could be a fraction. So 0.3 is rational. 1/3 is rational. 4 is rational. 0. Then whole number are the positive numbers. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, is over of equals percent over 100. So is missing, so it'd be x over 80 equals 6.5 over 100 is the way you set it up. And whenever you have a fraction equal fraction, you just cross multiply. So this would be 100x equals 80 times 6.5. Now I'm going to leave it in that form. If you have trouble with that, please ask me, but use a calculator. And you may use a calculator on the whole test tomorrow. Now 8 is 64% of what number? Don't know the of, so it's 8 over x equals 64 over 100. The 90 is what percent of 75? So 90 over 75 equals x over 100. Okay. Bob's weight went from 600 to 750. What is the percent increase? Now this is the key. Percent increase. That's when you have change in value on the top. How much did it go up? How much did it go down? So the change in value is 150 over the original, which is 600. And that equals x over 100. Again, just cross multiply. 150 times 100 equals 600x, and then divide by 600. So the key is percent increase or decrease. That's when it's change over original. Now, by the way, whenever you hear the phrase rate of change, that's the same as slope. I've used it a couple times, but not much. Slope is the same as the phrase rate of change. So if they have a table and they say this is x, this is y, and this is 4, 6, 2, 1. They said, what's the rate of change? You just go, oh, change in y over change in x. That's slope. So that'd be 5 over 2. Slope is 5/2. Anyways, hope I'm not going too fast. Stop the video anytime you want. I want to put $14,000. I want to put a $14,000 car on sale for 40% off. What is the new price of the car? So we're taking away 40%. So that's when you go 14,000 times 40% or 0.4. Because remember, percent means out of 100, so move it to, or you could put 40%. Use calculator, that is fine, which is 5,600. Because 10%, you move the decimal over 1, that'd be 1400. Move the decimal over 1, that'd be here. 1400 and then times 4 is 56. So that's how much we're taking off. So then you go 14,000 minus 5,600. So that'd be 8,400. So nice little discount. Now, oops. Let's look at some solving. I actually wrote some down to cover the next topics. If you have just and equals, you want to get the x on one side, number on the other. So I would distribute the 3. That'd be 3x minus 6 equals 3x minus 6. Oh, exactly the same thing. So this is the same line. Infinite solutions. Now again, if you want to email me tonight, I can do some other problem on the review sheet, but I'm sort of picking out here. Oh, fraction equal fraction, so you cross multiply. So that'd be 2x plus 4, so 2 times x plus 2, equals the 4 times x minus 6 would be 4x minus 24. So subtract 2x, add 24, and then divide by 2, so x equals 14. So if the highest power is 1, we always want variables on one side, numbers on the other. Now we have an inequality. As soon as you have inequality, that's when shading happens. Oh, we got to pause. We got to pause. This video has been brought to you by Snickers. Snickers satisfies. Just like math. So, back to this. So to solve it, the highest power is 1, so solve it just like that. Get the x by itself. So we're going to add 6 to both sides. And then divide by negative 3. So x, divide or multiply by negative. Inequality, you got to switch it. And then 18 divided by negative 3 is negative 6. So it'll be negative 6. Doink, 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 doink. This one, whenever it's squished together like this, that's an and. So I'm going to add 6 to all 3 terms. So let's see, I would have 26 is less than or equal to 2x, which is less than or equal to 46. Then to get this just to be a 1x, I'm going to divide every term by 2. So this would be 13 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 23. Now this means between two things. So the graph is between two things. Solid dot, solid dot. Whee! Now, whenever you have an absolute value with the variable, you got to break it up into 2 parts. First, you just write it without the absolute value. And whenever it's less than, it's and. Then you take the opposite of the inside. So see, I'm just taking the opposite of the signs. Opposite of this, opposite of this. So here I subtract 6 to get the x by itself. Then I'm going to take the opposite. Whenever you multiply by negative, you switch the inequality. And here you're going to add 6 to get the x by itself. So the answer would be everything between negative 34 and 46. Whee! Now that's pretty much one side of the review sheet. So I'm going to send this to the YouTube right now and then make the second one on the other side of the review sheet. Bye.